Well, thank you so much for being here on this very special day, and welcome to a great day in the life of Missouri State University. You know, it was just 2 years ago, not quite 2 years ago, that we were standing right about here outside during homecoming week when we broke ground on the Bob Gourley Student Success Center and the complete renovation of Glass Hall, obviously the home to the College of Business. And we're here today to celebrate that realization of that dream. We are also celebrating a special anniversary as well. It was October 28th, 1987, that was 30 years ago, that the Missouri State University Foundation Board recommended to the Board of Regents at that time that the new business building be named in honor of David Glass, the CEO of Walmart. We're so happy to have David Glass and his wife with us today. Thank you so much for being here. It wasn't that long ago when we opened the doors to this place. But today we're joined in this celebration by faculty, staff, and students, university leaders, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Missouri State University Board, Foundation Board of Trustees, several community leaders, and many friends of the university and of the College of Business. And thank you so much for being here. We're celebrating more than just a building. We're really celebrating what happens inside these walls and ultimately what occurs as our graduates leave Missouri State and make a difference in the business world. So a project of this size, as you would know, doesn't happen without people who are willing to partner with us and make this happen. So in addition to the $5 million of state money matched by the state of Missouri through private funds, gifts to this facility now exceed over $6.2 million of private gifts. And so we do want to celebrate that today as well. So in your program, you will see many of the names of people who we would like to recognize and thank. I'd like for those people listed in the program that made significant gifts to this project, if you represent the business, but all those people that helped make this possible, listed in the program, would you please stand? We'd like to recognize you. Thank you so much. Now, a guy that obviously is very happy just because we're here at Missouri State and just because it is homecoming week, but because of this type of celebration, please welcome our president of the university, Cliff Smart. Cliff.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you today to celebrate a great milestone in our university's life. It's also my privilege to welcome several dignitaries to the event today. Let me begin with my collective boss. We have several members of the Board of Governors with us today. I made a list of everyone I'm going to recognize. Here we go. So it begins. If you all would just stand as I call your name: Kendall Seal, Greg Spears, Tyree Davis, and Carrie Turgeon, all here from the board. Thank you guys for your tremendous support. From the city of Springfield, we have Mayor Ken McClure and Councilman Richard Ollis, and from the Greene County Commission, Lincoln Huff. Please, if we could recognize these folks. And of course, I'd also like to add my heartfelt thanks to all of the donors present who helped make this building possible. We could not have done the project without you. You know, as Brent mentioned, the state of Missouri played a role in funding this project. Every member of the Southwest Missouri Legislative Delegation went to bat for this project to make sure it was included in the budget. That effort was led by, on the House side, by Lincoln Huff. Lincoln, I know you're here. Wave to everyone back in the back. Tremendous work. tremendous work. Eric Burleson was also on that budget committee, fought for this. In the Senate, Jay Wasson was a true leader for this. But literally, our entire delegation made this their top priority, and that helped get that funding into the budget. But we wouldn't have received this money without the action of Governor Jay Nixon, who made sure, even though it was scheduled to be released over a 12-month period, that we had all of it before he left office. And so, thanks to Governor Nixon and our legislative delegation for your commitment to this university. Again, please join me in recognizing one more time these champions of higher education. In the last 5 years, we have enjoyed a time of unprecedented growth and vitality at Missouri State University. The College of Business has been an important part of that growth, adding over 900 students since 2012, making it the 34th largest business school in the United States. The newly renovated Glass Hall facility and the addition of the Bob Gourley Student Success Center ensures that our students will have cutting-edge technologies, state-of-the-art facilities, classrooms, and collaboration spaces that will prepare them for successful careers in business and as citizens of the world. Nothing is more important to us than student success. It is why we exist. Glass Hall and the Bob Gourley Student Success Center are going to continue the transformation of business education at Missouri State University. Today, we are privileged to have with us David and Ruth Glass and Bob and Marlise Gourley. These two families have been pivotal in the success of this project, and in a few minutes, I'm going to ask David and Bob to say a few words. But first, let me tell you a little bit about them. David Glass and Bob Gourley were classmates here at Missouri State, both graduating in 1960 with business degrees. David in accounting and Bob in business organization and management. Both went on to have highly successful careers. David Glass went on to become the CEO of Walmart, and in 1987 provided the founding gift for Glass Hall. Bob Gourley went on to be a successful entrepreneur, creating many thriving businesses. Both David and Bob have given back to their communities for many years, and they were the first two families to step up in a leadership role on this project. It wouldn't have happened without their commitment and gifts. Thank you, guys. We're going to ask, And if anything about them and me is similar, I suspect their wives had a role in that, in making that happen as well. We're going to ask each of them to talk. First, David Glass, and then when David has concluded, Bob, if you'll come up and address the group as well. Mr. Glass.
Cliff, it's my pleasure to be here today, and I can't think of anywhere Ruth and I would rather be. This is spectacular. It's a little bit overwhelming just to see how all this turned out. Beyond my imagination, and I saw it under construction when my son and I were here in February. Even then, you couldn't envision the way this would look. But I can't be on campus. Well, first of all, let me tell you about our leader of this university, Cliff, being a brilliant strategist that he is, scheduled this event for an off day in the World Series. The teams are traveling. Now, I need to apologize to this group. He did his part. I didn't hold up my end of the deal. The Royals are not in the World Series this year, but next year. Wait till next year and we'll fix that. But I can't be on campus without thinking about when I was a student here. When I was a kid growing up in Mountain View, Missouri, the teachers there all came to this college, and they spent the summers up here getting what education they needed to continue teaching. This college back in those days served a broad area, a big geographic area, a lot of small towns, rural people, and people here in Springfield, but it served a purpose that helped kids everywhere develop, and then it began to grow. In 1960, When I graduated here, I think we had maybe 3,000 students. Think of how it's grown since then. But when I got out of school here, I had a good education. I had a degree that opened doors for me that could never have been opened otherwise. Had this college not been here and not been completely affordable, there's no way that I could have gotten a college education considering all the circumstances at that point in time. So I am forever grateful, and I'm speaking on behalf of Ruth and my family. Whatever we have accomplished in life is due in a large part to the start that I got here. The education that I got here opened doors that I couldn't have opened otherwise. I had a lot of job offers when I was a senior, and I could pick the one I wanted, the career that I wanted, and that started me on my way. So I am forever grateful. And everywhere I go, I run into people who want to talk about Missouri State. And I get to a lot of cities in my role in Walmart and others. People always are coming up to me and saying, I went to Missouri State, and they are so proud of that fact. I talk to employers different places around the country, and they like to recruit here because of the quality of the graduate they get. So it is an unbelievable credit to those people who have led this university over the years to where it is today. I said to someone earlier, this business school has gone from a modest beginning to world class. You won't find anything any better than this anywhere, and it's a credit to the people who have made it happen, and the students who will get educated here have an unbelievable opportunity. Thinking about everywhere I go, people come up to me and they want to talk about Missouri State and being there. I was in China working, and people come up to me in China. You'd think you could go somewhere, and not hear about this. But anyway, it's a real pleasure for me to be here today. I'm forever grateful for what this university did for me. The business school, I saw Ron Bottin a while ago. Ron took this business school to another level. Stephanie has taken it to another level, and between the two of them, I would rank this business school against any in the country. So regardless of what anyone else might want to brag about their school, we've got it all here. So I can't tell you how proud I am and how impressed I am with what everyone has done. Thank you for letting me be here today.
Well, I could make this relatively short by just saying ditto. Everything I was going to say about this school, you've said it, and it just makes it more impressive. But we are introducing dignitaries. I want to introduce my family that's here. I'm very proud to have them here. David and Melissa Gourley, who came all the way from Mountain Grove, Missouri, to be with us today. And then Missy's mother, I'm very glad to have her with us. Her husband was a business professor here in school, David Dollar, who did very well. And then my granddaughter, Marley, who's with us, and my daughter and son-in-law, who came all the way from Lee Summit, Missouri, to be with us, Ann and Don Delano. And her son just graduated this last spring in the business school here. And guess what? He's got a fantastic job in Dallas, Texas. Called me the other day and said, "Papaw, what you told me is true. I could compete with anybody at any level with the education I got, and ahead of many of them." So I would say ditto to that effect too. And I've seen many people here. And see, I want to make sure I didn't forget anybody here that's in my family. I got everybody covered. I saw somebody from Lee Summit, Missouri, as a matter of fact. Rick Viar, I think, is on the board here. Good to see you, Rick. And I would say again, though, that I got a quality education, got my money's worth. The interesting thing about David and I is that we graduated together, we're on campus together, but really didn't know each other because this was a working university at that time. I worked 50 hours a week and went to school full-time. He did the same thing in the retail business, I believe, here. The only difference is that when he graduated, He went to a little company down in Bentonville, Arkansas. David, how'd that work out for you? I'm not sure that.
So good.
Pretty good, okay. I graduated with an ROTC degree also, so I had a job waiting for me down at Fort Benning, Georgia for a couple of years. But when I got into the business community, I found out I had the knowledge to compete, and to compete well. My career was a little different. I call myself a serial entrepreneur, meaning I've done it in different venues at different times. My wife says, it sounds like a guy who couldn't hold a job very well, as a matter of fact. But let me tell you something. Without Marlise Elizabeth Gourley, I would not be standing here talking to you today. There is no doubt in my mind of what she has done to support my career. And I'm just very proud of this organization. I'm very proud to be with it. We got our money's worth then. We're getting our money's worth now. Thank you all for being here.
I also want to make introduction of Virginia Fry, who is our chair of the Board of Governors, and Virginia is there. Thank you, Virginia. Yeah. The boss told me to, so. Yeah. Well, now I'm pleased to introduce the Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Stephanie Bryant. As you may know, she will step down from her position at the end of the calendar year and join the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business as the Executive Vice President and the Chief Accreditation Officer. So I assume for future accreditations, we got it. So should I say that Stephanie is passionate about this building project? Well, that's true. And she's not just passionate about the building, but the entire university. And she's not an alum of Missouri State, but you'd never know it. She is a Bear, and she will always be a Bear forever. Please welcome Dr. Stephanie Bryant.
I will always be a Bear. I cannot tell you how excited I am for today to finally be here, and what a privilege it has been to be a part of something so incredibly transformational. It's taken 5 years for this project, from the time we first started talking about this project until today, for this to happen, but it was worth every minute of it. To the Glass family and to the Gourley family, today, you made a difference in the lives of these students. Everything we do, as President Smart said, is about the students. Students, this is for you. All of this is for you. These people here are here to support all of you. So I hope you know what that means to us. We started this project by looking at our strategic plan. Your strategic plan should always inform what your facilities are. If you say that you want to be global, if you say that you want to have transformational education, then your facilities have to reflect that. And so that's one of the things that we did. Look at our plan, and our plan reflects what we wanted to do here in this space. You'll have a chance to walk around after this in self-guided tours and see the things that you want to see. The new space includes 13 team collaboration rooms. Number one thing the students asked for, please give us more collaboration space. So lots of collaboration space all around this building. There is a think tank, a place where we can actually think about solving real business problems. Our business students must be able to think and solve problems. We have the atrium that you're standing in. What a beautiful space. And there's furniture that'll be coming in a couple of weeks for this. Absolutely gorgeous space for our students. We have 4 experiential learning laboratories, and you'll get to see those. So things like the BKD Trading Lab, the think tank is an experiential learning space, our sales lab, all designed for students to have hands-on experience in their fields so that when they get ready to graduate and they get their jobs, they are ready to compete. Students, you can compete with the best of them. This space was designed with input from the students. So we had students at every stage of this project. I see Lene Flatness in the back. Lene actually addressed the Board of Governors and talked to the board about why this project was important. She's now graduated. She works for Accenture, and she's back to be a part of this. And so, Lene, you got to see this from the very beginning all the way to grand opening. We are still a work in progress, and so as you walk around, you'll see that there's space still being completed. But you'll be able to see renderings and drawings in places where we're still working in some of the areas. One of the features of the renovation that I really hope you will understand the importance of is the Wenzel Bixler Wall of Honor. Dr. Bixler was the former department head of what is now the Finance and General Business Department. He was an extraordinary, extraordinary man. He made a huge impression on me. The reason I think I love Dr. Bixler so much is the grace and the integrity and the honor with which he lived his life. He was the founder of a program that many of you students here have been on, the New York Study Program. He believed that you needed to take students into the business world, not just stand in a classroom and talk about it. He believed in taking them there. He not only took them there, he made sure they were dressed appropriately. That's a very big thing to Dr. Bixler. And so he cared for them, and he taught them what it meant to be a business student. He worked tirelessly in retirement. He sold books. He ran a used book sale for many years. And when I came here, the first week I was here, I noticed him in the hallway selling books. And I stopped and asked him who he was, and he told me who he was very, very graciously. And I loved him immediately. All the money that he made from the book sale, he gave back to students, every dollar of it. And from the time he retired from here in 1999 until really right up until he passed away, he was in that hallway selling books and giving that money to students so that students could go on the New York Study Program. Dr. Bixler's wife, Frances, is here with us today, along with Dr. Bixler's son, David, and daughter, Dana. We're so glad that you're here today. Dr. Bixler passed away in 2015, but so many people were touched by his life that we wanted to have something meaningful in this building that represented that. To this end, as you're walking around, you will see, we're still working on it, but the Wenzel Bixler Wall of Honor. It is on the first floor adjacent to the BKD Trading Lab. The Wenzel Bixler Wall of Honor will recognize those Missouri State University College of Business alumni who demonstrate the honor, the integrity, and the grace that Dr. Bixler modeled every day of his life. Every year we will name one person, today we're naming two people, that will be inducted into that Wall of Honor. So I'm pleased to tell you that the first two honorees on the Wenzel Bixler Wall of Honor will be David Glass and Robert Gourley. I'd like to also say a thank you to a special group of people that are in the audience, and that is the College of Business Executive Advisory Council. This group of 28 high-level executives help guide the college in strategy, execution, and yes, in fundraising. They have supported this project from the very beginning. I would like to ask the members of the College of Business Executive Advisory Council to please stand and for us to thank them. Some others who deserve special recognition include our architects. I know they're standing over here because I saw them. We had two architectural firms that partnered together to do this project. Dake Wells is a local firm, have done many projects here on this campus, and also Perkins & Will, a firm out of Minnesota who had done many, many business schools. Those two firms partnered together to do this project and did a phenomenal job. The design that you see is because of the architects. So I'd like to recognize from Dake Wells, and I think they're standing, so you'll need to wave, Andrew Wells. Andrew is over here. Andrew. Amy Wiley. Is Amy here? Oh, she's way back in the back, but there's her hand. Okay. From Perkins & Will, I think we have Jeff Zieberth. I saw Jeff. And Dave Diamond, who came in from Minnesota for this event. From Missouri State's Planning, Design, and Construction is Doug Sampson in the house. Doug Sampson over here. Doug, you gotta stand, Doug. You gotta stand. Okay. Doug Sampson, he didn't have a beard when we started this, so. Doug is our university architect. Rob Roy View, where are you at, Rob? He also, okay, one more, come on, okay. He also did not have a piece of hair on his face when he started, so his beard is down to here now. Our designers, Brenda Van Epps. Brenda, are you here? Over here, Brenda, her firm did all of the interior designs, so all of the furniture that you see done by her firm. And I do want to recognize also Dr. Dave Meinert. And where is Dave standing? Dave is in the back over here, tallest guy in the room. Dr. Dave Meinert can tell you where every plug and every socket is in this building. So Dave, we appreciate you. Last but not least, I want to thank DeWitt Construction. DeWitt did an amazing job building this building, and so I want to give some special shout outs there. Bruce Colony. Bruce, where are you at? Help me find Bruce. I saw him. Bruce Colony over here. J.D. Anthony. I want to adopt J.D. He is a phenomenal leader. J.D. did an amazing job, and I want to thank all the people that worked with him. Craig Yoakum, Michael Schultz, you guys are the bomb. You guys rock. Thank you so much. As I said earlier, this space is about students, and so without further ado, we want you to hear from students. So we've invited two of our great students to come and share with you what this space will mean to them. So I'd like to invite them to come forward. Brandon McCoy is the student body president at Missouri State, and Caitlin Schaefer is our student body vice president. So Brandon and Caitlin, will you please come up?
Thank you, Dr. Bryant, and thank you all for being here for such a monumental day in the history of the College of Business and Missouri State University. I remember the day like it was yesterday, and I think I speak for most students when I say this. I was walking to class, and the closest entrance to where I would always walk in at was blocked off with construction fence. And as I walked around the building, I said, this better be good. And now, as a senior finishing my undergraduate career here, I can confidently say that we now have a space that reflects the quality of our fantastic programs. So thank you all for what you've done for this space. It's truly incredible. This renovation and addition will impact student success for years to come. It will be a landmark building that students like us come back to when we come to campus and remember everything that happened in this building, and something that we're proud of. But that student success, how do we measure it? As business professionals, we seek the data. We pull every performance measuring statistic that we can out of every situation. When we leave here, we will quantify the number of students that graduated with degrees from the College of Business, our average salaries, and the jobs we landed in one of the interview rooms here, and the awards students won in competition around the globe. Quantifying success is a great and necessary thing to be able to do. But behind every data point is a student with a story. The lessons learned and the futures impacted within these walls are what students will take with them when they leave here.
I know I personally can attest that I have developed my biggest passions, strengths, and aspirations within the walls of the College of Business. I have begun to create my story. And I feel a great sense of pride knowing many others will too soon begin to create their own. But in order to create these stories, we must first bring in the authors. And the addition of this Success Center plays a critical role in that endeavor. Like most students, page 1 of my story begins on a university tour. During my tour, they heavily emphasized the new addition coming to Glass Hall. And they did not forget to mention that it would be done conveniently in time for me to start my major core classes. Now, at the time, I was just blown away by all of the cool and unique features that awaited the new facility's arrival. But now that I'm older and self-declared wiser, I see the true opportunities this facility provides to play a key role in each individual story. Maybe it's the cause of that plot twist of a marketing major finding their true passion for financial markets after a simulation of trading stocks on the trading floor. Or maybe it's the cause of that developing rising action as a student begins to create a new product in one of our entrepreneurship labs. Or maybe it's the climax of someone landing their dream job in one of our interview rooms. Whatever the event is, this facility gives us the opportunity to begin, develop, and even publish our stories, and leaves us feeling confident walking into the next chapters of our lives. And if you'd like to help us publish the next chapter of our story, feel free to see us after. We are in the job market. With that being said, this facility means so much more than just additional space and even the bagels and coffee, even though our non-business students have told me they really appreciate it. This facility means we have the space needed to collaborate, innovate, and become prepared for our future careers with tangible resources that we did not have before. So to our faculty, staff, and everyone else involved, thank you for your dedication to our success. I know I speak on behalf of the students when I say it gives us a great sense of pride to know we are attending a highly rated university with one of the best facilities in the Midwest. So, to conclude this story, I'd like to reference back to what Brandon said at the beginning. Us business people, we love our data. We love seeing that quantifiable result that proves our efforts. However, the impact you have made on the student experience here is truly immeasurable. Thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you, Brandon and Caitlin. We have impressive students here at the university. So now it's time for the big event, and we're going to make it official in 3, 2, 1. We are official.